Welcome to the session on AI/ML-based simulation of customer environment. Myself, Praveen, and my co-host is Shefali Sood. We work with Hewlett-Packard Enterprise. First thing, we would like to thank SDC India for providing us this opportunity to present our topic. The agenda for today is first we will go through the problem statement and the objective, and then the analysis of the field data with AI/ML techniques. Then we'll go through the customer environment creation. Then we can have a QA sessions. So the problem statement, the test case comprises of a test environment, test step, and the test verification steps. The test environment plays a very important role in test effectiveness and help us improve the product quality and reduce the customer pain points. In enterprise storage solution qualification, it is important to have the configuration and the workload pattern similar to that of the customer environment. Configurations and workload pattern change dynamically. Over time, it is extremely challenging to ensure test environment is not outdated. Objective: to find an effective way to update the test environment and test scenarios periodically. So we will uncover the issues much before the customer encounters it and reduce the customer pain points. To address this, we have implemented a solution to automatically analyze customer environment and product feature prone to failures through AI/ML techniques and try to run these tests in those particular configurations and particular features and uncover the issues much earlier in the release so that we reduce the customer pain points. Let's look at how we did the analysis of field data. To see, as you see here, we collected data from different sources, which are actually perf and statistical data and configuration data, and then data from the defect management tools such as Bugzilla. And then there are other forums which can give us the inputs, something like storage forums, solution engineering, pre-sales. We collected all the data and collated that data. After collating that data, we did some analysis using the AI/ML techniques. Post the analysis, we came up with the dynamic test environment templates. We also have taken backup, and then we store these dynamic templates, environment templates, and these analyzed data in MongoDB for future references. Okay, to gathering the field data for analysis. So we have automatically fetched the customer storage system configuration data, such as disk configurations, different types of disk, RAID configurations, and then volume configurations, such as provisioning, deduplication, compressions, configurations, and then controller and host specific configurations, such as the array model, or the host kind, or type of host, software versions, and front-end protocols used. And then we also collected the product failure instances data from the customers, which are reported by the customer, the bugs which are reported by the customers. And then we got to know about the failed product components, and then the feature integration points in these failures, and then the configuration of the systems seen in the failure instances. Apart from that, we also collected the trends and discussion points from the industry forums and solution engineerings and pre-sales. Okay, coming to the AI/ML techniques followed. Initially, when we got the data from different sources, we have to collate the data, and then we converted that data into a CSV format data. And then we did exploratory data analysis so that we can exclude a duplicate and non-relevant or unwanted data. After processing that data, we also did NLP processing. That is, the technique was used to extract error-prone product features and then array configurations. So we will see how NLP was used in this particular project. And then after processing the data, we got the data, right? We have to do the further analysis to come up with the configurations. So for that, we tried multiple algorithms to evaluate, to be evaluated with our data set. And then post this analysis, we came to know, we found out that the ML clustering models are the best fit for the data what we had for our use case. So now I will hand over to Shefali. She will take you through the NLP processing.
Hello everyone. I'll be talking about the NLP technique we used to fetch multiple features which were involved in the occurrence of a particular bug in customer side, so that we can use those features while in our scenarios of testing. So when we started retrieving data, Bugzilla data from our internal BugDB, it gave us important common parameters which helped us to correlate data with the existing configuration data we have fetched from other sources, as Praveen explained. But it was not giving, and it gave us some of the high-level components which were involved in the occurrence of the bug. But it was not giving us the complete picture of all the features which were involved in the occurrence of that bug. So we started exploring the comment section of the bugs and found out that we were able to get a good amount of features from the comment section. So, but the problem there was the data was completely unstructured in the comments, as everybody in the industry writes the comments as per themselves. So we started exploring the NLP techniques, and we came across BOW modeling. So that's what the approach we have followed here. First of all, we did data retrieval from Bugzilla. We did data filtering, and then we did data modeling using bag of words of NLP. So which I'll be explaining in the next slide. Praveen, can you go to the next slide? So as I mentioned, we first of all, we fetched the bug comment data from the DB, which is corpus, and then we applied tokenization over it. What is tokenization is, so it divides the strings or the paragraphs of the comments into a list of words, which is actually called the bag of words here. So after that, we had to do some filtering to reduce the amount of data we have and not waste time in processing. So that's when we applied stemming. So how stemming helped us is like there were multiple words which were same in context, but they were used in a different way. For example, a word is wait. So some people use it as waits, waited, waiting. So stemming reduced it to wait. So it helped us to clean the data a bit. And after that, we removed punctuation marks, empty spaces, and then we removed stop words. Stop words are like any general words, is, are, am. So all those words we removed, and then we applied pattern matching to fetch the particular features we were looking in the comments data. So after fetching those features, we applied frequency distribution of NLP. So how frequency distribution helped us is it told us the occurrence of how frequently a feature was occurring in the comment section. And then we fetched the top 5 features from each bug, which gave us a sample output like this. For each bug, we had the top 5 features which were involved in the occurrence of that bug, and which we further, for that we created a CSV file along with the other fields fetched from Bugzilla, and then we used it to correlate with the other data. Praveen, you can take care.
Thank you, Shivali. Okay. Coming to the determining the best AI ML model, we had tried different algorithms for the data set what we had. We had tried mini batch means, affinity propagation, and DB-scan, and then the K-prototype and K-model. Because we had different kinds of data, that is categorical and also numerical data. So we found that the other algorithms did not fare well with our for our use case. So coming to the so we went with the clustering method, that is the K-prototype and the K-model. K-modes clustering was selected, and then there are two kinds of clusters which we had created. One was actually based on the configuration data analysis. So in that K-prototype can handle both continuous and categorical data. So that's why it was selected. And then for K-modes, which can handle categorical data, we use that for product failure instances gathering. So how does the K-prototype and K-model K-modes cluster work? So these clustering techniques determine the cluster centroids and classify the nodes to one of the clusters based on the nodes distance from the cluster. Let's say you can see in this figure there are three colored nodes here. Okay, that is the blue, green, and the gray. So consider this as one cluster. Blue as one cluster, green as one cluster, and gray as one cluster. The arrow pointing to this particular node, it is the centroid. Okay, so the blue color nodes are actually assigned to this particular cluster based on the distance of this based on the distance of these nodes from the cluster centroids. Okay, the parameters which were used to consider this distance are actually the configuration parameters of the arrays. Okay, that is for the K-prototype clustering. For K-mode clustering, it was the features were actually considered as the parameters for the clustering mechanism. Okay, so now what happens is we determine the closest node to a particular centroid as a cluster representative node. Okay, so this is a cluster centroid. Okay, and the closest node to this centroid, we take that particular node or the array configuration as a cluster's representative array configuration. So we pick up that environment as the array configuration for our tests. So now determining the number of clusters. How do we actually determine the number of cluster? There are two techniques here. One is actually using the elbow curve, plotting the cost plot for that particular clusters or the number of clusters. And then we deduce the Silhouette score. Okay, when we run the analysis and then we got the Silhouette score plotted or else listed here. So we got, for our data set, we got 5 as the best score as 0.67. You can see here a Silhouette score can range from -1 to 1, and the one which is nearing to 1 is a cluster which is having a set of clusters which are far apart. Now coming to the cluster customer environment creations. So basically we have to arrive at the test environment configuration similar to the customer system environment. So clustering. So here, if you see that earlier, right, as I mentioned, so we have to identify the configuration, right, configuration parameters. In the K-prototype cluster, we determine one node in the cluster which is nearest to the centroid. Okay, this particular node is the real customer environment. Okay, choose this as a cluster representative configuration. So this particular node will be selected as a configuration for our test. Okay, Now coming to the top 5 product failure list. Okay, K-mode cluster list gives us a feature distribution based on the analysis. We will see that now. So here you can see from the configuration, we have the configuration cluster, that is the K-mode cluster. This is one of the nodes parameter, which was actually close to the centroid of the K-prototype cluster. Okay, and then similarly, this is the list of product failure features. You can see based on the numbers, okay, of the number of defects or else number of issues or incidents which was reported by the customer. And then based on this, the combination of these two, you can create a test environment, right? So which is actually having the list of product issues where you want to run your test. So now we are actually selecting the most used storage system configuration and associated product failure list here. So how are we actually getting that? We are actually matching the common parameters in both the clusters. Let's say in the K-prototype cluster, which is having the configuration parameters, and K-mode cluster, which is having the product feature list, we will actually have a common parameters which will match both in both the clusters. So we pick those configurations and the parameters based on that. So now coming to a sample environment configuration. So this is a sample environment configuration. You can see here there is a UID. This UID would be a unique identifier, which is actually matching in the configuration cluster and also the product list cluster. It is the K-mode clusters and the K-prototype clusters. So once we have that, so we can create these environment in our test environment, and then execute these product problematic feature list test cases in those areas, and then try to validate the product and then catch the issues much faster in the release cycle. So these are the references for our project, what we had taken. And please let us know your feedback. Thank you.